Well, hello there, everyone. My name is Beyonder, and this is gonna be, I guess, popular demand, or just, Brad, again. Anyway, in real life, I do the farm. That's what I do for a living, and, there's a lot of stuff we do that people really do not know about. So I kind of decided this spring, like during planting season and all that, got myself my old GoPro Hero Plus from, 2014 out. I got a mount for it, all that crap. And I decided I'd just do some recording, kind of document next time, what I'm doing in the average day, because during those few weeks in the spring, I just kind of disappear, and everyone's like, "Hey, where'd you go?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm in the tractor." So, I'm gonna explain that. Just to be aware, some of it the camera can get a little shaky in places, and audio isn't always great. There's a lot of background noise. I tried my best, but just kind of bear with me, And with that said, enjoy the video. Alright guys, so we're getting ready to movie. It's right about 7 o'clock. We changed the oil on this thing, did some maintenance back there. Now, we're ready to roll. We're gonna follow the truck out to the field, so... Alright, now I guess we're waiting for him. Just had to grab a Gatorade quick, so we're gonna drop it in the fridge here. And now, let's actually get rolling. Come on. There we go. So, we gotta turn on our hazards here and our beacons. We got that flashing. So now we're all good to go. And I guess I'll see you when we get there through editing magic. Down this road because they've been hauling a bunch of gravel trucks down here to maintain roads, and the roads from winter, they're still kind of soft, so now there's a bunch of big bumps like that in the road, so it can only go 20, 21 through here. It's annoying, but how it's gonna go. Here's a big one up here right now, so I gotta slow down for that more. Oh, you guys almost went for a ride there. So if you're wondering what we did for maintenance this morning, we filled up with DEF, which is diesel exhaust fluids, required now on the newer machines. But basically what it does is makes a lot less emissions from the diesel on this thing. I think it's like a 90% reduction or something like that. So that's cool, I guess. Filled that up, and on the back, I'll show you that up close later. But there's these big tip things back there on the shanks, and we changed a few of those. They wear down crazy, it's insane. I have a new one in the cab actually. I'll show you what it looks like a little later, but for now we gotta drive there. Oh, hey, there's a guy out there, you can see him. He's like this. pretty early too. So we're gonna wanna come to a stop because it's a stop sign. I'm sure you didn't know that. Make sure no one's coming, and we're good. Let's get moving. That's a big bounce. So now we're going to go our full 31 miles an hour. This tractor is faster than the other one. The other one is like 26. I like the 31. It's pretty nice. Just makes some of the boring part a little quicker. You know, try to say a little more quicker. That may be. No problem. Gotta look back and make sure the soil finisher makes it though. Get out so we're not driving over the planter roads here. See, gotta get out ahead of those. And we're gonna just drive. Oh wait, actually, don't want to run that over. He needs to plant there yet. We'll just undone here. I can turn off my blinker too. Sorry about the noise. After you drive this thing for a while, it just becomes white noise. I'll also turn off my flashers. And this is far as you went with the planner. Back in our own territory. So my goal today is going to be at some point I'd like to get the camera on the planner. Not sure how that's going to work because we're on the grind, but oh well, we'll see. So now I guess we'll park here real quick. And I'll stop you guys. Alright guys, so now we're out here at the field. And we're going to unfold. So we're going to take this switch here. We're going to put her down. Alright, there we go. Got her all out. Now, we're going to just cover that up. So that way I don't accidentally flick it while we're driving. We got to make sure those come up. Which they do. But we want them down. You just need to put them up in case there's a rock. And then for the back, you got to check those baskets are down. They like to kind of work their way upwards over time. Not sure why. Anyway, we're gonna put her in gear now. As I could scroll our set speed here down to 7.6. And I gotta enable our auto track. That way we don't have to steer for the mile-long rows. Taking it slow here because I got one hand on the camera, so don't harass me. And as you can see, auto steer's kicking in, and we're headed out. See that? We're getting work done. So yeah, we're just gonna run down the field like this now for the next, I'm gonna check my watch, like 14 hours probably. It's okay, there's events along the way. I promise we don't just sit here all day and do nothing. I'm gonna update you guys kind of as that happens. So yeah, here we are, rolling along. Gotta watch for rocks along here. The guy who owns this, he didn't get a chance to run out and rock pick for most of the fields because it's a massive 400-acre field. So he didn't get a chance to rock pick a lot of this. So we gotta watch, make sure we don't break something. I literally watched the rock go by, but it was a little guy, so it's fine. You just gotta watch for the big ones. I'll find one eventually. I'll video it when I do find one. Some ears of corn there. That's from. So it was much worse on that end. They're like everywhere, just because it was so damn windy, and we had the corn like flat down last year, so you couldn't get everything off the ground. So I'm sure volunteer corn could end up being a problem. Otherwise, okay, volunteer corn, since you're probably wondering what the hell that is, volunteer corn is basically when corn is not where you want it, like not in the rows, sprouts up in the field, and it kind of just grows there. And the annoying part about it is a herbicide can't kill it, because herbicide it's rigged up so that it kills everything that isn't corn or few resistant. Corn and soybeans is what we run. Obviously, whatever crop you're spraying, you're saying everything but that. It does that by using some weird genetic shit, competitive inhibitors on the weeds enzymes. You can Google that one. I'm not going to explain it, but basically, till that in, it's going to grow. Well, not all of them, but some of them will grow, and you can't kill them unless you dig them out, so they're a real pain in the ass. You don't really have to dig them all out, but usually in the anhydrous markon, so it takes quite a few out. For soybean fields, we do like to go through and like walk the field throughout the summer and pull a few out. It's not perfect, but makes a good dent. As you can see here, we got our acre counters. So that's our 193 acres. We did that yesterday. It's gonna go for the whole field. I'm not sure what that is. I forget what the 70-10 is. I think it might be like lifetime acres. I mean, let's see. We got this in 2019, so like 2,400, 4,800, 6,200. Yeah, that doesn't sound quite right either. I don't know, I'm not sure. But yeah, I guess I'll just come back to you guys when I do something a little more interesting. Oh, well, I'm an idiot. I almost forgot to tell you. got the most important thing to do in the morning. So I'm gonna go menu, so audio here, go over to the Bluetooth. I said the Bluetooth, come on, it's a little slow, and reopen that. You're confused. Unmute it. There we go. I had the radio muted because I was playing some dumb pop song. Now I'm gonna go into settings on my phone. Open up Bluetooth. I hit connect to 8370R. And oh, it connected. I don't have to put in the code. It remembers. Ironically enough, I'm gonna cover my name there, but I got Combine 8370R on my phone. You know, that's my watch down there. It's not the brightest. Yesterday I thought I did 93 flights of stairs going up and down the hills here. Oh, there's Grandpa out there on the opposite end of the field. Doesn't look like he's too far away, but he's about, oh, let's see, about dang near 200 acres behind us. But yeah, anyway, back to music. And open up YouTube Music, courtesy of Brad. And now I can listen to Stone Temple Pilots. Now we're ready to roll. I think my playlist is like 8 hours, so they're gonna be out here for like 14, so yeah, that'll be interesting. You know, nothing's wrong with listening to Plush twice, though. Well, guys, we got a rock. This is the one that caught my attention. Ran it over. So, sorry, a little bit of a struggle doing this shit with one hand. It's a big boy. Let's see if we can move. There we go. It's a big boy. And this is a little guy. Might as well grab. The hell? Huh. Seems he goes a bit deeper than originally thought. Hang on. Set you guys down there. There he goes. Stubborn one. Suck in there good. Let's throw it over there. There we go. Yeah, those are some good sized rocks. So I suppose I better keep working now. Well, shut up. Got a really big rock there. If it goes too deep, I'm not going to be able to move it. Oh, let's see. Oh, shit. That's a big one. I'm going to sit you guys down. You can chill there. So, well, luckily for us, it's a flat boy underneath. Still a big ass rock, but less big ass than I thought. You might have not seen that at all, but that rock bounced. It's a heavy one. So I'll get back in to our novel steed here. Yeah, I know I'm out of the seat. Thanks for reminding me. Put our steering wheel down and put it in gear, and we're moving. Put on auto track too. Watch for more rocks. They like to come in clusters. This sandy shit down here, there's a lot of them. Not too many on that end though, so that's good. Guess we're just gonna keep on rolling now. Well, guys, we've gotten far enough that we gotta do the outside edge of this waterway here. So I guess they should. So I guess we should get going. Basically what we do, I steer with one hand and I look back and hold you guys at the other, but I look back and just kind of watch, make sure we're getting right up to the edge there as best we can. So what these waterways are, they're basically areas where a lot of water flows when it rains, and we plant them in with like grass or hay or rye or something, some kind of grassy type material to prevent erosion there. It also captures any fertilizer that runs off. I need to get out of there. It also captures pretty much any fertilizer that comes off the field, because it'll all run in here and the grass will go and eat it, metaphorically, not literally. Grass doesn't eat in the same sense that we do, but so we're gonna get right up to the end here. Take that out of the ground. We're gonna back up a bit. And we're gonna wanna steer up here. There's a big wind turbine. And look at that while I fumble around with the reverse. So we're gonna, they run the opposite way that you steer. So you gotta, if you've ever backed up with a trailer before, you know how it goes. It's a fine art. How's that look? Can go a little further. Shift forward. And I guess I'll put it down. And we gotta get along this fence line now, so we go a little slower than normal, so we don't hit the fence. That was a rock. And try to get right up to the fence, so we don't want to hit the fence, because then that barbed wire will get all tangled up in the baskets on the back, and that's the real mess. Trust me, you don't want that to happen. You can spend like an hour just unraveling all this shit. So head down. Little washout there. See, we're bulldozing a bit of sod there, so I want to get over a little bit more. It's a little too far. Now this is back and forth with this thing. It's basically a game of how close can you get to the fence without breaking anything. And that is too close. Too close. There we are. Almost to the end. This is the only time as a farmer that you will need to look left. The rest of the time it's always to the right, because that's the way the seat swivels. And also, it's just the farmer thing. You always look to your right. You can't. You know, you go to the chiropractor and they're like, why can't you turn your neck left? And it's because you farm. And they're like, oh, okay, you farm. Makes sense. take that out of the ground, and you get the drill. We got more fence line to do. So I'll see you guys later. Well, I got, what the heck is it doing? Lost connection to the Bluetooth because shut her down. Seb's dirt's on the screen. I wait for it to heat up a bit and guess we'll get moving. Had myself a sandwich, got a little goodie bag. I got to close up. Ha! There we go. Master of engineering. Alright, let's get moving up. No update now. And that's an annoying sound. And we're moving. Well, been going at it a while now. I should probably, give a little rundown of what's going on. Tour my battle station, if you will. It's a bit loud, so excuse that. Here we got the men's bathroom. That's the women's bathroom. Got some weights on here, hold it down. Front dual, we got duals all around. Rear tire weights there. And if we head back to the business end here, see here what we got. We got all of our hydraulic hoses. These run the hydraulic oil through the machine to control those various cylinders. See them because they're shiny. And now let's walk through the process of how this bad boy works. So, it's a year 2310, if anyone cares. We have these discs here, and these kind of chop and size the residue. As you can see, kind of right in front of that corn stalk there, chopping them up. Because before, we got this shitty seed bed here, all rough. We got these long, stringy corn stalks, and this thing will chop them up. These are also like kind of concave here and angled, so that lets it like kind of throw it around. So it kind of looks like this. It left in the ground. It's kind of frozen in time. Then we have these. Some people call them shanks. Some call them sweeps. I don't know. It really depends on your taste. But those guys are doing most of the work. They're kind of swimming through the dirt, roughing it up a bit. We have the wheels here. Now these are special. These are the tandems here. And the reason there's two is because they kind of pivot like this so that it always stays as level as possible. We have more shanks back here. Then we have like a little harrow bar. This thing, you kind of see, you got these big kind of blue. And what this does is it kind of smooths them out. and we go to the baskets back here, which will roll and just pound the shit out of the clumps, bust up some root balls, and just roll it out and leave a pretty nice seed bed like this. You know, I'd much rather grow here than in that shit. Another thing we got, see how that's kind of in the middle there? That moves back and forth to keep it all level, kind of like the tandems. And yeah, so should get in the cab. Alright, so gonna hit that lever, get the wheel down, and that's the clutch there, pushing the clutch, going forward. We're going, that's a weird thing. These are the couple brakes, that's for the left, that's for the right. Sorry, you see it, right, left. You flip that lever together when you rode, because otherwise, you know, you jam them in and you all of a sudden just do a donut and spin off the road. I got the steering column here. That's the ether button for if you're having a lot of trouble starting or cold start or something. You hit that, you get a boost. We don't like it, it's kind of rough on the engine, but if you need to do it, you need to do it. We got like horn, the blinkers. This is lights. That's the wipers there. And so over here, ignore the mess of shit. Actually, that's all your guys' fault. That's the GoPro stuff. And then this is just food. So here, this with my food on it that I'm eating currently folds up into a little seat. We got some storage back here. Can keep crap in there. Dropped my cookies. Hang on, I'm gonna just turn around quick. So to turn around, we throttle her down about 6 miles an hour, wait for it to cross. Then we tap the inside brake. Well, whichever direction we're turning, we kind of tap. Just helps us get around a little better. Crank her, put her down, auto steer. And as you can see, I'm not steering that. That's all the tractor. And we're rolling again. It's real freaking dusty back there. So, it goes straight past the cab here. So we're kind of stuck in a little bubble. So up here, we can, okay, these two actually control the mirrors. Hang on, if I, as you can see that, you can move it. So that's handy just to mess with. Obviously either side there. You got the radio here. You know, just some like AC stuff. Well, this is like an optional thing we don't have. Here's our first monitor up here. Is this some guidance things? Hang on, is that rock gonna make it? That rock is not gonna make it. Alright. Back at it. Stop making that noise. So, up here, that track 1, what we do, we set an A-B line. Point A and point B on either end. Well, it doesn't have to be on either end. And the GPS will form a straight line between those, and that's the track for the rest of the field. Kind of on the spacing that we set it to, you know? So we set it to 27 feet. This is 27 feet 9 inches, but you like to have a little bit of overlap, otherwise any imperfections, you're missing spots. So that tells us how much fuel we're burning. 14 gallons of diesel an hour. Fun time. Here we have, that's actually our direction. That's 90 degrees east. That's where we're at, a field, Rhett's field, like Ritz with an E. That's this big ass 400 acre field. Get off the window, dirt. As you can see, it's real damn dusty. So, the chair, well, we have a few little just seat adjustment things there. The chair actually swivels to the right here, so that way you can look back without hurting our neck. First rule of being a farmer, you don't need to look left. You need to look right. Always to the right. And if you look far enough right, you can find yourself looking left. You know, that way you can see everything. Just kind of the way it goes. So here's our main monitor here, built onto the arm. You know, client, farm, field, you know, set all that stuff. That inches thing, that is the auto track. Can't see anything. That is the auto track. Basically, how far off of our line we are. So 0, we're perfect. And the satellite's way up in the sky there. Can't see them. I don't know why I showed you that, but the satellites are able to pretty much perfectly triangulate and give us within that within 1 inch thing. And I realize this might be hard to see. Hang on. I'm gonna get up here and turn around quick, and we'll probably be able to see better, and there won't be all that shit on the window. Good lord, some mess. Not as bad as if it were muddy though. This is so much a spring. Yeah, tractor ain't green anymore. Alright. Sorry about that noise. It's some weird thing. We need to work it out at some point. Just haven't gotten a chance. So, spin around here. Clip to that little tile riser thing. Drop her down. And we're back at it. So, on the monitor here, as you can see, 270 degrees west, we have that on both location. This is our SCV, or hydraulic, lines out the back, measuring the flow. So like down versus up, it moves. I don't know if I'll demonstrate that, I might. That is how many feet we have until the other end. 2,000 feet. These are the short rows. Those are like a mile long up there. It was insane. It's how many acres we've done in this field, 384. And I'm not exactly sure what that one is. I think it might be like lifetime. It sounds a little low for lifetime on this tractor, but I don't know. Got time, you know, the satellite showing us has satellite connection, that stuff. And here, the shaded blue is where we've done, and the gray is where we have not done. So you can kind of track your progress there. Down here, we have these buttons here. Those are just alternatives to the touch screen. You know, you can go back and forth. You got counters, gallons an hour, gallons an acre, a bunch of the temperature, hours. Yeah, you know, it's important to be knowing. So these are alternatives to the touch screen, basically. These switches here, gotta look for rocks. There's a big one I know along here. So these switches here are for the hydraulics. So we flick it up, and the thing will lift up, drop it down, goes back down. Here's our shift here, and we can actually scroll this forward to set our speed. And by set our speed, kind of sounds weird, but see that orange 7.6? That's our target speed. And when we set our target speed to that, the tractor is going to decide which gear to shift to most efficiently do it. So, kind of like a bike. Like you go up the hill, you're shifting down. You go down a hill, you shift up. You know, just that type of thing. And it basically tries to balance it to make it the most efficient way to maintain that speed. I don't know where that rock is, and it has me very concerned. There she is. I'm being serious. There is not a single rock for 2 hours. And then I started recording, we got 2, and they're big ones too. I'm gonna need to put you guys down. Have fun. Alright, see ya. Nah, sorry, he was asking if I had enough fuel to finish this field. Should be good. In the spring like this, the day basically ends when you're out of fuel or you finish the field, whichever comes first. So, back to what I was trying to say. These switches, we can cover them up, you know, so you don't accidentally flip them, because that's the one that folds it up. You won't want to fold it up halfway down the field. So cover it up. This is the front disc blades there, and this is the baskets in the back, so you can flick that, make sure they're down. They like to bounce up. Here we have the shift, and this is interesting. So we have that scroll wheel for the target speed. The tractor will decide the most efficient way to maintain it. But we can also like bump shift forward, so I'll demonstrate after I turn around. Good lord. Can't catch a break today. So for example, in F13, it likes to make this weird sound. If I lift up the brakes, it stops for some reason. But if I bump shift up to F14, scroll back down to our 7.6, it stops. So you can bump up or down. You know, there's reverse, you can do the same with that, and you drop it in the park there. This is the button you hit to start your auto steer. That's your throttle, controls your RPMs. I don't know why I needed to demonstrate that. Shit, got my... Alright. That's the PTO switch. This does not use a PTO. Basically the planner uses a PTO on, besides this tractor, but when they're the front wheel steer, it's kind of standard on all of them. You know, good to have too. So these are some light switches, and that turn on our flashers, and this turns on our blinkers. Here we can control the radio from down here. It's the mute button. You can skip, go back, volume up, volume down. It's our temperature. You can do that. You know, got a whole system in here. Over there we have our temperature, our fuel gauge, and our depth. And you know, depth, I talked about that earlier. Smacked the damn window. Down here we got a little refrigerator to keep food or something cold. Not currently operational. We got cup holders, USB, which I'm using to charge my GoPro, but it's in my hand. Got electrical tape because no fireman leaves the house without it. Old thing, water. We got a bunch of plugs down here, and you can get like brackets to go clear across here for more monitors. The planner has that. So yeah, got hell of a system out here. But you guys didn't come to listen to me rant. So you came to watch the satisfying time lapse. So I'll deliver. Well guys, we got pretty sunset and my handprint from smacking the dirt off the window. Have to wash that off. But we're done for today. As you can see, we're low on fuel, so we gotta get our asses home. Grandpa's also low on fuel, so he's gonna make his way up here got corn planted here, so we gotta put that up. We're gonna meet him at the gate there and get all this stuff home. We're just running it behind us, even though we've already been over this, so we don't leave any tracks for him to, you know, that way we have perfect seed bed everywhere. Well, close to perfect as you can really get. And up on the other side here, he's got corn planted, so we gotta put it up. There we are. Now that way we aren't destroying any seed. So put that up. Now we're gonna drive up to the gate, way up there. There's a few other gates down here, but they're awful narrow, and that's where we're gonna meet. There he is in the planter. I guess I can stick you guys on there with the magnet. That's a good shot right there. And that, it looks like Grandpa had a bit of a close call with the planter there. So we're gonna not go there. That was a big bump. He's yelling back. looks like, I'm betting he has some seed in the tank he wants to run out yet. So I'll get up here and I guess I'll video when we get prepared to head home. Well, since Grandpa's dragging away out there, thought I'd take the opportunity to walk over and explain the seed tender, because I likely won't get that opportunity again. So we have the truck here, and we hook it up to this flatbed here with this whole rig. This is a Speed King seed tender. So we have the scale on here, and our 2 seed pallets. And we open those up and run them through that belt into the planter tank. So I'll try to show that process tomorrow. But if you see, there's a, hang on, step up here. There's those numbers up there, and that corresponds to a corn hybrid. Most corn is GMO'd. So what we do is we select hybrids best suited for our environment or base soil type. We take yield data from previous years and what they got with certain hybrids and what we know about the soil type, like soil test results, all that stuff, and we generate a prescription, and we use that to apply certain seed to certain areas to try to maximize our yield. So let's say a field has a lighter, sandier soil, that is going to get a corn hybrid that does better on that soil type, and one that might struggle in that likes heavier soil, we're going to put in the heavier soil. Here we got big fertilizer tank, and we got a little leak there, but we run it into this pump and pump it into the fert tank on the planter. This is just a little starter thing we use to get the seeds going, kind of like a monster, just like a boom, get them moving. There's some empty insecticide thing. We use that to keep pests away, mostly corn rootworm, which has been a real problem. It's basically this worm that eats the roots of corn. Kind of self-explanatory. And here we got the gator on the back. The reason we have it on the back is because when we're not in the same field, he doesn't have anyone to go back and forth. So he'll drive the truck out here and drive the gator off the back and back home with those little ramp things under it, and then I'll take the planter out to the field. That way he can transport himself. You know, just helps the whole thing. But yeah, quite the rig to see going down the road. So if we head to this picture of the cab I got here, we can look at the very complicated monitor system we got in the planner here. So starting on the top left, we have most of the standard tractor stuff: hydraulics, auto steer, and maps. Next to the right, on the iPad there, we have our population map. And population is the measure of how many seeds we're putting in a specific area of the field. For example, heavy black soil like this has enough nutrients to support a lot of plants before they start competing with each other. However, in sandy soil like this, there isn't as many resources available, so the plants are going to crowd each other much sooner, and as a result, we would lose yield. So, we plant less plants in areas with worse soil, and more where it's a nicer soil. We base this on yield data from previous years, like the hybrid seed, and how close we are to the target population is represented by that green on the iPad there. It's kind of the coverage. So basically, we're trying to allow each plant to reach its maximum yield potential within the soil that it's going to be stuck in, because not all soil is the same. Down and to the left of the iPad, we have this setup with these weird bars showing us our singulation. So in the actual drone unit, the individual seeds are separated by a spinning disc with little kind of punch outs in it, so they can be dropped at our target population. The problem is, nothing is perfect. Occasionally, two seeds get dropped in together, seed size varies, or they get skipped altogether. So each black bar represents one of our rows, and if the bar is above the middle line, they're being planted doubles. And if it's below, a skip has happened. So the closer to the middle they are, the closer to being perfectly singulated it is. There's like a sensor in there, it counts like individual seeds, so we can verify this. The green indicators below just show that we're planting. If we're in a field without a perfect angle, each row will individually turn off when it overlaps with something that has already been planted. Or let's say you're going through a waterway, it'll turn off as you enter the waterway, so you're not planting through it. And we're not wasting seed, we're not getting weird rows, we don't have anything where we don't want it. So, if we head to the right of the iPad, we have our insecticide controls. And this is used to toggle the insecticide for the rootworms I talked about earlier. All the rates and stuff are controlled from this little box. It's an aftermarket add-on thing, so it doesn't come like integrated into the planter. On the far right, we have the hydraulic box. I had a stroke. For the planter. And the planter is kind of special, has a lot of hydraulics, so we need the extra switches for like the row markers and stuff, which I'll show you right in a second here. So now I'm going to talk about the mechanical side of the planter. So we start with the row unit, which has these two serrated discs on it called row cleaners, and they push debris on the ground out of the way, whether it be rocks, plant debris from last year, and it just allows the rest of the planter to do its job a lot better. Next we have the openers, which is a blade that cuts a small trench in the ground to put the seed in. Its depth is controlled by the gauge wheels, which are the thick black ones, to hold the row unit at the correct depth. That's what they do. So that we can have a consistent seed depth all the way across the field. We can adjust them by moving them up to plant deeper, or moving them down to plant shallower. After those, we have to plant the actual seed. And it's this little brush thing that throws the seeds down there after they've gone through a singulation and all that. And they come from the tank in the top corner there. They get vacuumed through those tubes, thrown into the row unit, they go through the disc, get singulated, and thrown in our desired population. After that, we have these two discs that put our starter fertilizer in. And those are aftermarket, they're from Yetter if you care. And it just allows us to incorporate our fertilizer instead of throwing it on top so the roots can get it as quickly as possible. So the thing that's going up on the side there is the row marker, and those were standard before GPS became a thing. And what they are is half the length of the planter, and it cuts a little line across the field. So when you turn around to your next row, you just line the middle of the hood of the tractor up with the line, and it helps you plant a straight row without auto track. We don't use auto track on the ends really, just because it can get a little sketchy with having the fence there, and it's just preferable not to be so reliant on it. So we use the row markers to help stay as straight as possible. And from here, I'm going to just let you enjoy the ride, natural planting. So on the back here, we can see a little more that's going on. You can see what covers up the hole, and that's the closing wheels. They spin around just filling that trench that we cut earlier, and they have those little spikes on them. It's another aftermarket thing that we modded on. But those little spikes help squeeze out all the air pockets, so we don't have, we can get uniform emergence. Behind them, there's a little chain dragon that just helps, level off the mound the closing wheel leaves behind a bit. And you might notice that the row units are kind of bouncing around, and that's because they can like move up and down. They have this big like air thing, and we can control downforce with that. It's how hard it's pushing down on each row unit. So we kind of want them to move with the terrain somewhat, obviously, so we can always get a good depth. But we also want them to, you know, hold down and not just bounce up at every little thing. So, you know, we can adjust that. And the big white tanks down here are our insecticide system. You know, as you can see in the dark spot on the closest one, it's about half empty. And these, we just put a little sliver of it, like, as we go down the row. They last quite a while. In the top right, we have, well, the big triangle right behind that. We have the actual vacuum, like, power, like the pressure, one of the pressurized things to the vacuum. So yeah, I guess that's cool. You know, just powers the whole thing, throws the seed through the tubes, all that stuff. And yeah, I guess I'll leave you alone again.
We're on the last little sliver of the massive 450 acre field. So you just gotta back into this corner here, go down, and well, we gotta drive back up because, you know, just a little fun fact about farming, very rarely do you end up on the side of the field with the road when you're done. This is how it always seems to go. Doesn't need to be quite perfect. We already got that pretty good. There's some auto steer in action. Actually, I'll kind of demonstrate just how powerful auto steer is. So we're drifting over here, going down the center. If I hit the auto, not lifting a finger, and it knows what it's doing. Most of the time. Sometimes, like earlier, about an hour or two ago, it decided that we needed to go 45 degrees like across the field instead of like perpendicular to the road. So sometimes it's a little stupid. But yeah, we just gotta cook our way down here, and I'll hop up and ride in the planer round or two and get some footage. And hang on, see that dust way out there? I think that's the guy who owns the field with his sprayer coming in and putting pre-emergent down. That's cool. Got 3 machines in the field. Got me, Grandpa's in the planter there. They got that guy up there. Fun how that works out. Not quite as hectic as the fall where you got everyone running all over the place, but fun. Alright, I guess I'll update you when I'm done.
Well, I was going to record the end of the 450 acre field with my 29 cumulative hours spent in it, but then my GoPro ran out of memory. So I guess you're stuck here in the editing room with me. Anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. This video got just a bit out of hand. It's like over an hour long. So yeah, thanks. Unless you skipped to the end, in which case, you know what you did. But yeah, I had a fun time making this video. I hope you learned something from it, or at least just enjoyed my shots of screwing around with a GoPro and a big-ass magnet attached to it. So I'm hoping to document some of the other things we do, like anhydrous spraying later this summer. And if you enjoyed, look forward to that, because that's going to be coming. And with that, goodbye. Have a good day, night thing. God, I need to work on my outros.